Hi Rangers, this video is going to go over test number 3 review to help prepare you for the test tomorrow. So a linear parent function is graphed on the right. Okay, so this is our linear parent function. Remember, the parent function is y equals x, or it's f of x equals x. Okay, so which graph best represents h of x, which equals negative f of x minus 3. So that's telling us that we're taking our graph and making it negative, which means our slope is going to be negative. So if I look at my answer choices, that means I can eliminate answer choice B and answer choice C. The next thing I need to know is that this plus 3 is my y-intercept. So my y-intercept should be going through positive 3, which eliminates answer choice A and tells me that answer choice D is the correct answer because it is a negative slope because it's going down from left to right, and it has 3 as a y-intercept. Okay, next one. The graph of the linear function f is shown on the grid to the right. What is the 0 of f? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles. Well, again, remember 0 is the same thing as x-intercept. So my x-intercept looks to be at negative 5. So to fill it in the grid correctly, we do negative, bubble in the negative, then we write 5 right next to it, and that's it. We're done. Okay. The formula for velocity is given where d represents the distance and t represents the time. I think that's a typo. I think it's supposed to say the formula for area A is given where L represents the length and W represents the width. So that's a typo right there. Okay, we want to solve for W. So here we go. We're going to draw a line through our equal sign. We know that L and W are being multiplied. So to get W by itself, we have to divide by L. Well, when I divide by L, the L's cancel out and leave W by itself, and we're left with A divided by L. So we're looking for W equals A divided by L, which is answer choice C. Okay. Which of the following is equivalent to 5x plus 10y equals 20? So if we look, all of them have in common y equals, which means we need to solve this equation for y. So to do that, first thing I'm going to do is subtract 5x from both sides. That leaves me with 10y equals 20 minus 5x. Then I divide both sides by 10, and I divide everything by 10. When I do that, I get y equals 20 divided by 10 is 2. Negative 5 divided by 10 is a negative 1/2 x. So I'm going to rewrite it with my x term first. I have a negative 1/2 x plus 2, which looks like it would be answer choice J. Okay, number 5, which of the equations have a slope of 1/3 and a y-intercept of 15? Well, first off, if we know the slope and the y-intercept, we can write the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals 1/3 x plus 15. Now what we need to do is to determine which functions are similar to it. Well, if we look at the first answer choice, notice right here it has a slope of 1/2. Our slope is 1/3, so that doesn't work. And we know that because it was in point slope form. The next answer choice, y equals 1/3 x plus 15, works out, so we select that one. Okay, next we have 1/3 x plus 3y equals 15. We can't tell anything from that. In order to solve, we would have to solve for y, or in order to tell if it's the same equation, we would have to solve for y. So if I solve that for y, I get 1/3 x plus 3y equals 15. I would have to subtract 1/3 x from both sides. When I do that, I get 3y equals 15 minus 1/3 x. And a lot of us would stop there, but we can't stop there. You would have to divide by 3, which means we're not going to end with 15. So that eliminates that answer choice. Okay, next. We have y minus 10 equals 1/3 x plus 5. So again, in order to tell if this is the same equation, we would have to, if we could tell the point and the slope, actually no, we would have to solve for y. So let's solve for y. We have y minus 10 equals 1/3 x plus 5. When we do that, we get y minus 10 equals 1/3 x. And 1/3 times 5 would be 5/3. And if I try to add 10 to both sides, I'm not going to end up with 15, so that's not going to work either. So we can eliminate that answer choice. Okay, looking at the next one, we have 3x plus 3y equals 45. So if I have 3x plus 3y equals 45, I subtract 3x from both sides. 3y equals 45 minus 3x. I divide everything by 3. That leaves me with y equals 15 minus 1x, which is not what we want. That has a slope of -1. So we don't want that one either. Looking at the last answer choice, we have -x plus 3y is equal to 45. I am going to add x to both sides. And remember, it's a 1x, so if you need to write in the 1, you can. That leaves us with the 3y equals 45 plus 1x. I divide everything by 3. I get y equals 15 plus 1/3 x, which is what we want. So that one works as well. So I have 2 answers for that one. Number 6, what is the equation in point slope form that passes through the point -5, 6 with a slope of 3/2? Remember, -5 is my x, 6 is my y, and my slope is m. I am going to plug it into y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So y minus y sub 1, which would be y minus 6, equals m, which is 3/2, times x minus -5. Well, we know 2 negatives make a positive. So I do know that it has to be x plus 5, which eliminates answer choice A, answer choice B, and answer choice D. So that leaves me with C being the correct answer choice. Number 7, the linear function f of x is shown on the graph below, or to the right. What is the value of f of 8? Well, if I look at when x equals 8, what is the y value? Well, when x equals 8, that's here. What is the y value that goes with that point? 30. So we would bubble in 3, 0. You do not have to bubble in the positive unless you want to. Okay. Number 8, what is the slope of the graph of y equals -12x plus 18? Well, again, it's in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. We know my slope is m. It's the number in front of x, which means my slope is -12. So answer choice B. Given the graph of f of x equals negative x minus 2 shown on the grid, which of the following statements about the graph are true? So what is true? The graph represents a decreasing linear function. Well, decreasing goes down from left to right, so that is true. The y-intercept of the graph is negative 2. The y-intercept of the graph is negative 2, so that is true. The slope of the graph is negative 1. Well, if we look at the equation, the number in front of x is negative 1, so that is true. So it would be answer choice B because all three statements are true. Next one. Which of the following is a solution set for, or is in the solution set for negative 8 times 2x plus 4 is less than negative 80? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our line through the inequality sign. We're going to distribute negative 8 to to 2x, which gives us negative 16x. Negative 8 times 4 is a negative 32. We drop down our inequality sign. Now we're going to add 32 to both sides. We get negative 16x is less than negative 80 plus 32 is a negative 48. Now we're going to divide both sides by negative 16. And x, because we divided by both sides by a negative, we flip the inequality sign and we get negative 3. Oh, positive 3, I'm sorry. There we go. So which one of these numbers is in the solution set? Well, it has to be bigger than 3, which eliminates B, C, and D. D would have to be or equal to, so it does not work in this set. So answer choice A is the correct answer. Now, if you're not in honors, you can go ahead and stop the video now. But if you're in honors, we have a few more questions. So, identify the x and y intercepts of the following linear function. Well, here we go. Remember, for the x-intercept, we plug in 0 for y. So we have 4x minus 12 times 0 equals 24, which leaves us with 4x equals 24. We divide both sides by 4, and we get x equals 6. So my x-intercept is 6, 0. Okay, next, the y-intercept. We plug in 0 for x. So we have 4 times 0 minus 12, y equals 24. I get negative 12y equals 24. I divide both sides by negative 12. Y equals negative 2. So I have 0, negative 2. And there's my y-intercept. Okay, question number 12. Mia wants to buy new Airpods. She saves $15 a week. After 5 weeks, she has saved $75. Write an equation in point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. That represents the situation. Well, we know she's saving $15 a week, so that tells me my m, my slope, is 15. And because it talks about per week with it, that means my x value has to deal with weeks. So my x is 5 weeks. My y sub 1 is $75, which y usually goes with the total amount. So I'm going to plug it into my equation. Y minus 75 equals 15 times x minus 5. And that's it. Looking at number 13, Oscar wants to buy a new computer for college. He currently has $25 in his bank account. He saves $12.50 from each paycheck. Write an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, to represent the total amount of money he will save after x paychecks. Well, we know he's saving $12.50 per paycheck, so that tells me my m is $12.50. He currently has $25. That tells me the starting amount, or my y-intercept, of $25. So I have y equals 1250x plus 25. Okay, after how many paychecks would Oscar save $137.50? Well, that just means I'm going to plug that in for y and solve for x, because remember, x is paychecks. It tells you right here. So I have 137.50 is equal to 1250 x plus 25. Our goal is to solve for x. So we're going to start by drawing our line through the equal sign. And now we need to think about moving everything away from the x. So first thing we need to move is 25. So we're going to subtract 25 from both sides. When we do that, we get 112.50 equals 1250x. To get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 1250. And we're left with x equals 112.50 divided by 1250 is 9. So that means after 9 paychecks, Oscar will have, $137.50. So if you have any questions, please make sure you ask your teacher before the test. Other than that, have a